Stopped at a red light when headlights flashed across my mirror and everything went sideways. The airbag slammed my head back and guacamole from my DoorDash order flew everywhere. I couldn't hear anything except ringing. I crawled out through the passenger side, tried to stand, and my legs gave out. I'm on my hands and knees on the pavement when I hear, "Bro, what the hell? My brand new car. I just got it yesterday." An orange Hellcat was sitting sideways in the intersection with smoke coming off the tires. Some kid was standing over me screaming, "Why'd you reverse into me?" I looked up at him from the ground. "I can't feel my legs." "I don't care about your legs. Look what you did to my car." He pulled out his phone and started filming his Hellcat without even glancing at me or my flipped car. "My dad's a lawyer, so you're either gonna pay for my car or we're gonna bury you." I couldn't even stand up, and this kid was threatening to sue me. Cops showed up 10 minutes later, and the kid completely transformed, limping and holding his neck. He told the officer I reversed into his Hellcat for no reason. The cop took one look at my Corolla on its side next to the brand new Hellcat and didn't even ask for my side. He gave me the ticket and left. I'm sitting on the curb holding my legs when a second cruiser pulled up. The kid saw it and started limping again. The door opened and I heard, "Oh hell no." It was my dad's buddy from the neighborhood. He'd been on patrol and heard the call. He crouched down next to me. "Tell me everything." I told him what happened. He looked at both cars and shook his head. "I believe you, but without proof there's nothing I can do. Is there anything, any witness, any camera, anything?" I almost said no. Then I looked at my Corolla and saw it through the cracked windshield. The dash cam I installed 6 months ago to catch DoorDash scammers. Still mounted to the dash, right where I left it. Actually, yeah, I do. He watched me crawl over to my car, reach through the broken window and pull out the SD card. He plugged it into his laptop in the cruiser. 30 seconds of footage. My car sitting still at a red light. The Hellcat spinning out of a dealership. The kid laughing right before he slammed into me. Everything the kid told the first cop was a lie, and now we both knew it. He stepped out of the cruiser, walked straight to the kid, and got in his face. "You want to tell me what really happened?" The kid backed up a full step. His fake limp was gone. He looked over at me, then back at the cop standing 6 inches from his nose. "You filed a false report, and that limp you walked in with healed up real quick." The kid started stammering. "My dad's a lawyer. You can't just call him. You're gonna need one." He was right. I ended up settling for enough money to buy 5 Hellcats thanks to a $30 dash cam. I was stopped at a red light when headlights flashed across my mirror and everything went sideways. The airbag slammed my head back and guacamole from my DoorDash order flew everywhere. I couldn't hear anything except ringing. I crawled out through the passenger side. I flipped the water bottle and watched it land, and the whole class went berserk. Our teacher had said if I put a stopwatch. I flipped the water bottle and watched it land, and the whole class went berserk. Our teacher had said if I put a stopwatch on the table and looked at every teacher in the building. "You have 3 minutes to own up to it, or every single one of you is fired." That morning, I found a bag of white powder in the break room cabinet right next to the sugar. My hands were shaking when I pulled it out. I locked every teacher in a room and slammed my hands on the desk. 10 seconds in, Mrs. Petrie raised her hand. I lied on my time cards twice. I didn't want anyone to know I was late. "That's not what I'm looking for." Mr. Donaldson started sweating. "I've been having an affair with Mrs. Walters after school in the astronomy room. We like the fake stars on the ceiling." He looked at the floor. "Please don't tell my wife, or my kids, or my grandkids." 2 minutes. Mrs. Hart burst into tears. "My real name is Nancy. I was in prison for shoplifting, and I have a Doritos problem I've been hiding for years. We'll deal with that later, Nancy." Mr. Glass stood up and ripped his shirt open. 3 nipples. Everyone stared. Sorry. Everyone was being so honest. I just needed to free myself. I had nothing. Mrs. Betty Williams, 85 years old and still teaching, folded her hands on the table. "I slept with 62 students between 1982 and 2008 right after graduation. Exclusively nerds. They never got any love." The room went dead silent. Donaldson looked at Betty. "At least mine was with a coworker." Betty didn't even look at him. I stared at her for a long time. "We'll talk about that later." 1 minute. Mr. Appleton stood up shaking. "I egged your house and slapped bologna on your car at 5 in the morning because you didn't give me a bigger Christmas bonus." Another teacher raised her hand. "I toilet papered his house because you gave Teacher of the Year to Betty." She looked at Betty, who's apparently a legend now, I guess. I rubbed my face with both hands. I never even told them what what I found. I pulled the bag out of my pocket and held it up. Who does this belong to? Betty leaned forward and squinted. Oh, that's where that went. I turned to her slowly. She dipped her finger in, tasted it, and smiled. Baking soda. I have never felt dumber in my entire life. 1 week later, Betty was arrested for swimming naked in a public fountain at 2 in the morning. High out of her mind, baking soda my cheeks. I put a stopwatch on the table and looked at every teacher.
You can take any character in any style and convert it into a video mirroring your movement.
This story was really nice. Mrs. Whitley held up her hand. Stop. Nice is a nothing word. Give me 3. My best friend had been hiding something from me since the day we met. I heard someone screaming and looked up to see a man telling a young girl to get out. She was holding a blanket and obviously wasn't in the cafe to buy anything. It was freezing outside and just wanted to stay warm, but he didn't care. I watched as she walked out and just sat down shivering. Everybody just ignored her. She looked broken, and I knew I couldn't watch. I quickly finished my food and went to ask her if she was okay, but I noticed she wasn't just holding a blanket. I